Hey you, it's Reese, and this is just a word of wisdom um, in regards to there being another shift. I don't know if you guys felt it. I felt a shift a few weeks ago, probably maybe like 3 weeks ago, and it was a small shift, but I knew there was a shift, and that shift came about after I was throwing my little hissy fits and temper tantrums about us, still being in the car. And it was more of a, okay, pull yourself together, get it together, stop going back and forth. And my daddy even sent me a couple prophetic words, and they were saying just that, like, pick a side. Are you going to continue to fight, or are you going to give up? Like, what are you doing? Because all that back and forth, you're going to be lukewarm, or you're going to stay in the fight. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stay in the fight. I'm going to stay in the fight. I'm going to stay in the fight. Like, I got to stay in the fight. So I felt that shift, like something was about to happen. Like, okay, I'm going to stay in the fight. But it was like a small shift, like he's about to pull us out of this situation. Not a big unction or feeling that he was going to pull us out of this situation, but I just felt like, okay, we need to hold on a little bit longer, because it's not gonna be like this for much longer. So after I got that little shift, I felt that little shift, then we were still in the car for a little bit. Actually, no, we were able to get a room for, I think, a night. And then the next day, I was like, okay, what's going on? Are we going to be able to get this room again? Or, what's happening? And so we didn't get that room again, but it just so happened my daughter's godparents called that morning, and were just, checking in on us, seeing what was going on. So her godmom found out about, the situation we were in, and she came riding in like a good Samaritan. And I say good Samaritan because I have other people that were aware of the situation, that are Christ followers. And they just asked a lot of questions, like as if I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if I was hearing God correctly. Thinking it's more of a give it your all and then see what God will do type thing. And it's like, I'm being obedient. I'm following his instructions. I'm following, what he's telling me to do, even if it doesn't look like it to you guys. That's exactly what I'm doing. So it was kind of like, we'll help, but we want to know all these things first. Or they asked all these questions, and then it was like, okay, we'll help. As soon as my daughter's godmom, well, I have three daughters. So, but my middle one, as soon as her godmom found out the situation, she was like, okay, do you have Zelle? Do you have this? Do you have that? Okay, I'm gonna call you after work. I'm gonna call you a little bit later, later this evening or whatever. And I was like, okay. And so I picked my kids up that day. We were still in the car, got them snacks and stuff, and we were chilling in the car about to watch, a movie until it was ready for them to start getting ready for bed and stuff, because I was like, all right, we're back in the car. I thought I felt a shift. I thought we weren't going to be back in the car, but it is what it is. I made up my mind. I told you that I'm in it to win it. I'm not going to keep going back and forth with, fighting and then saying I can't do it and wanting to give up and telling you I'm going to give up. I'm in it to win it. I'm going to stick with this. Even if it kills me, I'm going to stick with it. And so right before we were about to watch a movie in the car, my daughter's godmom called and was like, okay, where are you now? What zip code are you in? What hotel were you staying at? And all this other stuff. And I'm like, I gave her all this information. And maybe 10, 15 minutes later, because she was like, okay, I'll call you back. like 10-15 minutes later, oh, I gotta say this part too, because she was gonna try and send money, but my account was overdrawn, and she doesn't have Cash App. My account was overdrawn, so she couldn't Zelle me anything. And then she tried to get money to me a different way, but that, you know, that way didn't work out either. And I know that was God, because I have had an insane amount of anxiety when it comes to cleanliness. Since this journey, I am already OCD and, you know, really just kind of like, you know, with stuff anyway, but it seems to be like it had got so bad to where I'd be like, God, I'm not trying to be ungrateful, like, but I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I feel like I'm gonna die. Like, this room isn't clean enough. You know, it's just like, I can't stay here. I need to leave. And it's like, chick, you're in a room versus your car. You really have the nerve to complain. And it wasn't me trying to complain. Like, I really felt like I was gonna die. And I happened to talk to my sister about it, and I'm like, I don't know what it is. I know I'm OCD, and I know I'm like my mom, and I know, you know, you need everything clean, but this feeling I get when things aren't clean, or when I'm, you know, I go to a hotel or a motel and I'm like, oh, it's not clean enough. Like, I really, you know, I got out of character. I would start cussing, and I don't cuss anymore. I would start cussing, like, you know, the kids would be on the floor and I'd be like, get that off the floor, you know, like, I'd freak out. I'd feel like I want to cry. I just, like, I felt like I wasn't safe or anything. And my sister's like, that's anxiety. You need to pray that spirit off of you. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. She's like, he's playing on, you know, your fears, because I have a big phobia of hair, huge phobia, even my own hair. And, you know, stuff being clean, I'm like, oh, it's dirty, can't. Ugh. So I began to pray on it. I'm like, God, you know, I need your help. So anyway, she wasn't able to get me the money to book a room, because I wouldn't have booked the place that she booked us, and I wouldn't have booked that place. I've seen it before, and I kind of felt like, you know, it was a cheaper rate. So I'm like, sure, it's just, you know, go here. It's cheaper. You can get more nights. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it, because I'll die. I'll die there, you know, because it's not clean enough. And so I told her the place we were staying at, and I guess she was like, yeah, well, you won't be staying there, because I'm going to book you somewhere else. So she couldn't get me the money to book our, you know, my own room for us. So she booked the room at one of the places that I looked at, but I was like, no, I'm not booking there. And she booked us 5 nights. She booked us 5 nights to be at this place. And so when I found out, I was just like, oh my God, you know, thank you, God. We're not going to be in the car. You know, oh, I'm so blessed. Thank you so much. We're not going to be in the car. We get to shower every day. You know, I get to work out every morning. And you know why? I spend time with him first. I spend about an hour or so in praise and prayer before I do my workout. But, you know, I was able to, you know, work out and stuff. And so if you hear noise in the background, sorry, that's my baby. She's snoring. We're still in the car, because I'm not getting out right now, because she's gonna wake up. Actually, I'm gonna turn the car on so she's not sweating, because that's my little sweat baby. She gets hot easily. But yeah, so when I found out where we were going, I started praying. I was like, I'm gonna die here. I think I'm gonna die. And this is before my sister told me what, you know, she told me. And I was like, I'm gonna die here. It's not clean. It's, you know, like, God, I'm gonna just tell her, save her money. Oh, stay in the car. Like, this is how bad it was. This is how bad that spirit was attacking me, that I was willing for us to stay in the car just to not go to this place. Like, it was bad. And so I was like, okay, Sharice. And I told the kids, on our way there, let's pray. You pray, I'm gonna pray. You know, you guys pray that the place is clean and it's safe and all this other stuff. And so we get here, and, you know, definitely not the best, but I was like, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, you know, I talked to my sister and everything, and then, you know, so I started praying over myself, you know, God, rebuking the spirit of anxiety and, you know, this phobia, like, just, you know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be clean and be in a clean place, but if you're willing to stay in the car versus being somewhere, I mean, that's kind of bad. It was bad. So I'm doing good. I'm doing much better, trust me. And it still tries to creep up on me here and there, and I'm like, rebuke it. No, you're not about to cause me my peace. Like, no. So so that was a little shift that happened. And he took us out of the car for 5 days, which I had work to do. It wasn't just okay, you can go relax in a room for 5 days. There was something that I have been putting off for months, and I mean months, that he's been tugging at me to finish, and I just couldn't finish it. I don't know why. Like, I had homework and all this other stuff, but that one thing I could not finish. I do my homework and all, I do everything else but this one thing he kept nudging me to finish. So I knew, and I told him, I know you want me to finish this. I can't finish it in the car. You put me somewhere, I will get it finished. So I knew as soon as she got us this room, because I didn't even know how many nights she got us at first, not till I checked in. So I had the kids take up my laptop and everything. Get my laptop, I have work to do. Like, he didn't put us here just to chill and stuff. Like, I have work to do. So then I found out how many nights she booked us, and I'm like, okay, you got 5 days. You got 5 days to finish this stuff. So I finished it. He gave me the grace to finish it, which he even sent me a prophetic word, and she's saying, he's giving you the grace to finish it. And I'm like, you really did give me the grace to finish it, because it's done. So that was the first, like, little shift. But then there's another shift. I felt another shift while we were here at the room. I was able to book us 2 more nights. Through the grace of God, he sent money that usually comes every month, but he sent it early. It wasn't supposed to come to the 1st, but he sent it on the 29th. So and that was the day we would have had to check out. So I was able to get us a couple more nights in the room. And so the other shift I felt was, you're not going back in the car still. He's not going to send you back to the car, but something's about to take place. You're about to start, he's about to start using you in a different capacity than what he's been using you in. So I don't know if you guys have felt another shift. There's been 2 shifts, but there's been another shift, and it happened recently, maybe about 3 days ago. Yeah, maybe about 3-4 days ago, I felt this second shift. And I'm like, okay, God, what is this? This isn't the shift I felt at first. This is something different. You're about to do something new. So look out for the new that he's about to do. Well, I guess this isn't just a word of encouragement. It is a prophetic word, because as I was praying the day before yesterday, I actually should have released this word yesterday. But, I got caught up with stuff. I didn't do it. But I was praying, and it was like, I saw like a TV screen, but it slid. Like the screen slid. And I was like, what is that? And it was so fast. Like, it was so fast. I was like, was that in my imagination, or was that you? But it was like a slide show. Really fast slideshow. And I was like, what was that? And I was like, okay, you're changing the scene. You're changing the scene on the screen. Okay. All right. So then after that, I was asking, okay, what does that mean? What are you doing? Is that, what does it mean? Then I saw the same screen, and then I saw the screen of the TV go a bunch of times really fast. So the first time it was just one picture slide, and I was like, okay, slideshow. And then when he gave me the vision again, it was a whole bunch of slides. So I feel as what he's leading me to speak on is, there's a shift. There was a shift, and that was the one slide that he showed me, the first one. And then after that, it was a whole bunch of slides. Like, the screen changed a whole bunch of times. So it's like, okay, he's doing this. He did this one screen change. So something in your life is changing or about to change, or he's already changed it. But then after this change, it's going to be rapid change. The slide's going to change. The slideshow is going to keep changing a few times. And you're going to kind of like, it was really fast. Like, kind of like when you do a book, on the picture book, and you draw like in the corner and you flip pages really fast, and it's just like a whole bunch of screens or whatever, pictures going. That's kind of how it was, but it was on a TV screen. So there was a small shift. About 3 weeks ago. And then there was another shift about 4 days ago, and him showing me the slide was just confirmation to let me know, yeah, there's another shift. But then after that, there's going to be a few shifts. There's going to be a few changes that I'm doing. So keep walking in your faith, stay in position, stay where he tells you to stay, because that's another thing he told me, was to stay in place, stay in position, stay where he puts you. You might get confused or tempted to go somewhere else or leave where he has you. Don't listen to the enemy. I almost got tricked. Pray on it. Listen to what he's told you before. That's what I had to do when I thought I was supposed to leave. I had to think, okay, no, he told me to stay, and he didn't say stay at a certain place. He just said stay. But I knew once I was trying to leave this place, I knew that meant for this place, you stay here. And there's a reason why he has me here. Actually, I think there's a couple reasons why he has me here that I'm gonna put in a different video. And that's about how do you know you're called to them? Because there's a person here that happened to be at this hotel that if she didn't book us in this hotel, I wouldn't have met with her, and I'm called to her. So I'm going to do a different video about that. I'm sorry this video is turning out to be so long, but stay in position and continue to move in silence. That is another word. Continue to move in silence. Share what he allows you to share with what's going on with your faith walk, or any blessings he blesses you with in the moment. But other than that, continue to walk in silence for those of you that he has called to be in silence right now. I am one that he has called me to be in silence. I can only release the things that he has allowed me to release. So yeah, that is it for this prophetic word. There's been another shift. That was the first slideshow, and then the shifts are just going to keep happening, and they're going to go really fast. But stay put where he has you, even if it doesn't make sense. Stay put where he has you. Okay, mama. And continue to move in silence, okay? All right, so yeah, gotta go because she's flipping out. All right, talk to you guys later. God bless. Bye.